Claude Cowork keeps getting better with computer use, with scheduled tasks, and with long-running agents, but most people are trying to bolt these superpowers together with some very broken project management habits. Today I want to walk you through a simple 4-phase system for building a true infrastructure around your project information so that it compounds and gets stronger naturally each week instead of getting in your way. By the end, you'll see how a clean set of context files can really drive your project forward and get the most out of all the powerful new features that Claude Cowork is rolling out. The example we're going to use today is one of the gnarliest I could come up with. You know, it's springtime and there's a lot of events being planned for the spring and summer, so this is all going to be around managing a community event. So much has changed inside of Claude Cowork, and this is especially valuable for anybody doing project management. The computer use functionality is especially valuable. Check this out. Here it is right inside of Notion, creating a Kanban board for this event using the mouse and the screen the same way a person would. And here it is mapping out an entire layout for this event. But you've also got all sorts of skills and connectors coming onto the market. There's a new scheduling feature so you can schedule out when these different tasks happen, and there's this really cool dispatch tool which allows you to control your computer directly from your phone. A couple quick things for you that I had to stumble through when setting up this computer use. First of all, inside of Claude itself, you have to enable computer use. Then on your Mac, yes, it's only on Mac right now, but on the Mac you have to allow it in your accessibility. And then in Chrome, there's a little hoop you've got to jump through there to connect it as well. And if all this feels hard to keep your mind wrapped around, I can completely empathize. But that's what today's video is all about, is building this context engineering mindset that can help us use all these tools to really do some fantastic stuff when it comes to project management. I've got all this documented in a cheat sheet. I create a cheat sheet like this for every single video that I publish, and they're all instantly available to anybody who supports this channel on Patreon. Check out the link in the description for that. But now to get into the 4 phases that can allow project managers to get the most out of all these new features, it basically comes down to smart context discovery, smart context-rich planning, and I've got some tweaks around that I've really changed my mind on recently. Then we're going to get into execution and finally automation. The goal of the discovery phase is to accurately gather the information the AI is going to need to help you complete your project. I'm guessing you're probably aware these AI systems can really overcomplicate things, so it's important that we steer them to just the information that's necessary for the project. This includes objectives and success criteria, stakeholders, constraints, such as the budget and the time, risk assessment, as well as any historical context, has this project been attempted before and what happened then? Here's a prompt that you can use to cover all of that information. I'm just grabbing this and dropping it into Cowork. But before I do, I'm creating a new folder here to house everything for this project. And I'm selecting that project right here in Cowork. I'm dropping that prompt in and running it. Remember, you can use the Google connectors if you have information about this buried in email strings or maybe for past events in your Google Drive. You can use the dispatch functionality, which again connects your iPhone app directly to the desktop app. Maybe you're at a venue and you want to capture some information, or you're talking to somebody at a coffee shop and want to make sure to grab that. Computer use could be huge for this, where you can ask Cowork to go out and gather information about local vendors or maybe potential local vendors from their websites and pull that all into either a spreadsheet in Google Sheets or even better into one of your context files. From all that information, I'm just asking it to create a clean MD file or markdown file with all of this information in the current folder. The reason we want to use these markdown files instead of like a Word document or things like that is that Word documents and PDFs have a whole bunch of extra characters and formatting that we want to keep clean from the AI so the AI doesn't have to parse through all that and it doesn't clog up the AI's memory. Obsidian is a fantastic free tool for looking at these files and editing them. I've got another video all about mastering that. I'm going to link to that now. Here's what that final project definition file looks like in Obsidian. We've got everything clearly defined, and this will be our foundation going forward for the project. Another prompt that I love to use at this phase is called a pre-mortem prompt, which basically imagines that this project has failed and we look back and figure out why did it fail. This reminds me of a quote from the physicist Richard Feynman, who said the best way to test an idea is to try to break it. So try to break it before you even get started. Remember, it's always easier to change the blueprint than it is to unpour the concrete. Once you've got the project defined in a concise and accurate way, it's time to move on to the planning phase. This includes the WBS, the work breakdown structure, the stakeholder communication plan, and some thoughts around risk. Here's a simple and clean prompt that I love for the work breakdown structure. I'm going to grab this and drop it in. Here's what that WBS structure looks like once it's done running. And it might be good to follow that up with this critical path prompt here. So we'll copy that in. This highlights all the different dependencies in the project so you can maybe find things that can be done in parallel that you hadn't thought of before, as well as, when something really needs to be done before something else can start. I still love this free website. It's called onlinegantt.com. Let me show you how this works. I'm asking Cowork to please generate a Gantt chart for this project that follows the format of the example CSV file it has access to. That example CSV file is going to be included in the Patreon as well, but this is a great way to get a visual view of these different dependencies to figure out, where the crucial dates are. Cowork's gone ahead and built that, and now we'll just upload it into onlinegantt.com. And there we have a really cool visual representation of the dates and dependencies going on and on and on into this 8-phase plan here. Next, I'm just asking it to create a beautiful website that can act as a communication hub for all the stakeholders. Awesome, here's what that looks like. You can host this pretty easily on GitHub Pages or Netlify. There'll be more information about that in the cheat sheet. Next, moving on to the stakeholder communication plan. Really, the number one reason that projects fail is because of communication breakdowns. So it makes a lot of sense to spend a little extra time in this area. So from this, I'm just going to say, let's create a skill that we can run that looks at recent updates and creates custom emails to each of these stakeholders and drops these into my Gmail drafts. It just tested its own skill here, and now it's creating the Gmail drafts. And here they are right in my email drafts, looking awesome. Now we're going to use the new schedule feature to set this skill to run every 2 weeks on Tuesday morning. So this is going to look at all the different changes that have been made in this folder and create email drafts on what has been changed specific to each of these different stakeholders. There we have it. Let's schedule it. Now, one thing that I have to mention when it comes to planning documents is that keeping these documents up to date can be a real pain. You have to actively steer the AI to not create too many documents because it'll just start creating stuff everywhere that feels really satisfying at first until you realize, hey, there's so many out-of-date things that it just doesn't work well and bogs down your system. You may want to opt for a really streamlined approach, which is what I've been doing lately, where we have just this, project definition, and then we're just looking at what are the next steps and knocking out whatever the next milestone is and saving that in a session log, which we then reference the next time we get to work. That way you really just have your end goal in sight and what you need to be immediately working on as the next step. This can keep everything super duper clean and action oriented. It's important to remember that when you're managing complex projects, your folder structure is definitely going to need to change over time to match the way that the project is changing. In computer programming, this is often called refactoring the code. So as you learn new things and start to build things out in different ways, don't be afraid to ask the AI for better ways to organize things and cleaning up old files or archiving old files, etc. So here's what this folder structure looks like now. We've got the main document here. We've got a skills folder, a folder for our session logs, and an archive with some of our older stuff. You may even want to retitle this main file as Claude.md, so Claude knows exactly where to go first. That's becoming a common best practice to alert the AI where it needs to look immediately. It might feel like a ton of work getting all this context and planning set up properly, and actually, truth be told, it is a lot of work, but that's 90% of the work these days, because now as we get into the execution phase, things are going to get a lot easier. And remember, you can always spin up multiple sub-agents to knock a bunch of things off your list all at once. I'm always shocked at how many things could be done in parallel. I love this quote from James Chams. He says, "New tools create new blind spots, which require new tools." These are some things to keep in mind as you skate to where the puck is going with all of your different project management needs. There's a ton more in this cheat sheet. It is 30 pages. I've also got some really cool skills attached to this Patreon post as well. So if you're getting something out of these videos, please check out the Patreon. Consider joining there. I've also got some group calls where you can hop on a call, ask me questions directly, learn from the group. Really fun stuff happening there. The next video that I want you to check out goes into the whole hierarchy and how to build these skills. There's a link to that right there. I will see you over there.
Make the dreams